Hi, I'm Kim Ellis, and welcome to my channel. I'm here to talk to you today about 5 tips to help you to overcome fear. How to overcome fear. One of the first things that really people think is, what will other people think? What will they say about me? Oh my gosh, you're starting a YouTube channel, or you're think you're better than I am. How dare you do that? And usually most people won't say that to your face, but you may fear all the what ifs. What will they say to me? Or what will they say behind my back? And it can get fearful and it can get scary. But really, if you let all of those fears overtake you, you probably wouldn't do anything. Just like starting this channel or doing art, you have to do what makes you happy. I really feel like everybody has a purpose in this life, and if you hold fast to what that purpose is, that will give you direction. There's a lot of fear, I think, with imposter syndrome, where you think that, well, she didn't do this, or she doesn't make enough of a living off of her art, or any kind of thing that can weigh down in your feelings and in your heart to stop you. But really, if you can go forward and do the thing that you love, people will be interested in it because you'll have joy, you'll have a lot of happiness, and that will definitely show in anything that you do, anything at all. Number 2, what's your motivation? For me, I get excited when I can not only do my art but share it with others. As a children's book illustrator, I get excited when children read my book, especially my youngest one, to hear him read the books aloud that I've made. I get excited when adults read my books and get inspired, and they get inspired to maybe even make their own books, because a lot of people tell me all the time, there's a book that I've been meaning to write, and I'm like, well, write it, get it out into the world. My first children's book, it took about 12 years to publish it, and I know that sounds like a long time, but there were a lot of circumstances in my life that really, it was hard. And there were a lot of things that I just kept putting my artwork into the drawer. I always say that I put it into a drawer, and I looked at it every so often, but I really didn't do anything with it. My friend Laura came over one day, and she's such a motivator in my life, and I got up the courage to show her. So I got the books, the manuscript, and the drawings that I had started, and I showed her, and she was just so excited. She was like, Kim, what are you doing? When are you going to publish this? When are you going to finish the art? And I was so happy and really excited by her motivation and by her encouragement. And she really didn't stop there. She would ask me maybe every month or so how's the book coming along? And that was really helpful, because it didn't make me feel shame. It made me feel the motivation that I needed to take hold of that project and finish it. And having it sit in the drawer for 12 years was difficult. I knew that I wanted to finish it. It was a project for my daughter. I had my first daughter, who was my second born child, had passed away. She was stillborn at 40 weeks and 2 days, and it was an excruciating time. But I had written that book. I had written that book for my son, who was almost 2 at the time, so that he could be encouraged, that he would know that even though we were grieving, we would grieve with hope. Because I didn't see any books out there for 2-year-olds. They were all kind of made for like 7 and up, and I wanted him to know that his sister was all right, that she was in heaven. And so I wrote my first book, Butterflies for Rory, but honestly, it would have probably sat in the drawer if I didn't have the courage to show my friend, and I showed it to the right friend, who was very motivating. So what's your motivation? So that being said, what small goal can you reach for? For me, it wasn't, oh, I've got to finish this whole book in a month. I went to college at the Savannah College of Art and Design, and I studied children's book illustration, and one of the things that we learned was how to make a thumbnail of each of the pages. So once I made the thumbnail, then I could move forward into the drawing, and then I could move forward into the watercolor painting, and then I could move into the layout and the graphic design of the book. So it wasn't overwhelming because it was this whole big project. I could make it into little bite-sized chunks, which really helped me to say, I have these little small goals. So maybe my small goal for that month was, I'm going to do 4 thumbnails, which they're really tiny little things and they don't take a lot of energy. Not really. We would do them at our college, we would do them in Sharpie. So they were very simple and easy. And if I made that goal, that was awesome. And if I went beyond that goal, that was really awesome too. So think, what are the small goals that you can reach for? And the next thing is, what one step can you take today? For me, I did not wake up this morning thinking that I was going to film this video for you, but I didn't have it planned, but I got up and I said, I'm going to feel the fear and do it anyway. That I'm sitting in my bedroom talking to you guys on camera, and my children have videotaped me for different projects that we've had to do or we've gotten to do, and they told me, Mom, you're going to have to film yourself now. Which is not because they didn't want to help me, but I needed to have my own presence on camera. I needed to do this project and take ownership of it, and to know how to speak to you guys, because you're out there, and once I send this out into the world, I don't know how many people will watch it. I have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, Kim Ellis Creates, and just a couple days ago I was able to reach 1,000 followers. Now, it's been a long time. It's been 5 years of being hesitant to even post anything at times, feeling like a failure, feeling like I'm not really genuine. Oh gosh, there are other people making this much money, or there are other people who have this many followers, and what am I doing? But I said to myself, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going every day. So what one step can you take today? I'm assuming that I will use all of this footage, but maybe I won't, but at least I have something to edit. At least I have something that I've started today. And so that one step can snowball into many different things and grow from there. So what one step can you take today? And the other thing that I asked myself, the 5th way to how to overcome fear, is if you wait, where will you be a year from now? So I always say that it was 12 years before I published my first book, from the time that I started to write it to the time that it actually came out into the world. And the way to overcome fear at times is to say that it doesn't have to be perfect. It's better out into the world the way it is. There are so many edits that I'd like to do to that book, but it's out and it's been born and it's helped people, especially that book in particular. I guess for me, I made it for my son, but I also made it for other people who maybe are afraid to talk about their loss, because it's not always a pretty thing. It's not always a joyful thing for people to talk about, but people need to process loss. We've all experienced it. And so when I get an order from my Etsy shop and somebody says, I wish I didn't need this book, but I know that it'll bring comfort, that waiting for 12 years seems to disappear, because now it's helping other people. It's helping moms and dads, and it's helping children. And if I had just left that in the drawer, then it wouldn't have helped anyone. And yes, it's not perfect, but it's out there, and it's out there in the world, and it's doing good. So my prayer for you today is that you can overcome fear, and you can put whatever is lying on your heart to produce, to do, that secret thing that you've held tight, that you maybe don't feel like you don't have the confidence to make it into reality. I ask you to take these 5 steps and to overcome that fear. I will post weekly, and thanks so much. All right, have a good day.